Alright, so Fiji, they have gone from a 45-man squad down to 39, losing 6 players along the way so that they can get prepared for their Pacific Nations Cup and also their Rugby World Cup, which is about 75 days away. Looking through, there are a couple players who got taken out due to injury. Other players have just been removed but are still training with the squad just in case there's any injuries that do pop up in the near future. But now looking at the loose head props, it will be Pini Ravai, Aroni Maui, and also Meli Tuni. So the one name missing there is Hiareti Hitit. He did have an injury near the end of Super Rugby Pacific. They decided to put him in that training squad just to test it out, and it does seem like it still hasn't completely recovered. But there is still hope that he will be back by that 2023 World Cup. The hookers, it is Sam Matavesi, Tavira Ikanaviri, and Zuriel Togiotama. So the one name missing there, Mezulami Dolokoto. He has been removed from that 39-man squad, but there is still plenty of time before that World Cup, like I mentioned. So injuries or anything along those lines could mean that they do get added back in. For the Thai air profs, it is Misaki Donge, Luke Tangi, and also Samu Tawake. So Hone Kuroi Duadua, the one who misses out. So they have taken away one player from all of those starting positions. Looking through at the second row, Esoa Nasilasila, Api Ratunaya Rawa, and also Timo Mayanava. The 3 same names that they did have in that wider training squad. In the back row, it will be Lavani Botia, who's just an absolute tank when he gets the ball in hand. The exciting part is this squad's got a nice mix of the Fijian Drua as well as those overseas international players who have been tearing it up in the top 14, Gallagher Premiership, you name it. These Fijian players have been making an impact. Also in the back row is Viliami Mata, Meri Derialangi, the Fijian Drua captain. Did have a pretty strong back end of the season. We'll be hoping to continue that at international level. Vilive Mira and also Kitioni Kamikamita, the last man for the back row. So no change there compared to the squad that we did see 3 weeks ago. For the second row / back row, they've got Albert Tuisui, Pitiliato, Lekima Tangi Valu, and Te Ehoaru Tharika Davita also keeping his spot in the side. So one player that is noticeably missing is Joe Tamani. Now I know from what I've seen that a lot of people were concerned about him missing out, but the reason behind it is not because he's been dropped from the squad. Instead, it is actually injury. He is another player similar to Hiareti Hitit, who did have one near the back end of the Super Rugby Pacific competition. So he's just not quite 100% at the moment. So maybe he misses these first few games, then comes back in time for the World Cup if that injury has healed. But yeah, he's a fantastic player. Although the big question is, where would you put him in a loose forward trio? When you look at the names that I've just mentioned, there are some absolute tanks in the 4-pack in general, in the team in general. But this loose forward trio is certainly going to bring the physicality to all of the opposition that they do go head-to-head with. Looking through at the scrum halves, they have got the same 3 as they had for the 45-man squad, which is Frank Lamani, Semi Kuravuli, and also Penny Matawalu. So no changes there for the Flying Fijians. For the fly halves, they have got Tite Tela, Caleb Muntz, and Ben Vulavula. Once again, same as what they did have for that wider squad announced. And I believe overall we won't see too many changes in that 9-10 department, unless of course there are some sort of injuries that do creep in. I know there are a huge amount of Fijian Drua players who are getting the opportunity this year, whether that's Lamani, Matawalu, Tela, or Muntz, just in scrum half and fly half. And I believe in that initial 39-man squad, over half of the players were from the Fijian Drua, which is absolutely awesome. See how that side is progressing. Looking at the inside centres, they've lost one name here, but first one that they have got, Joshua Tuisova. He is definitely going to be a beast out on that wing. I know last year it was that question of who do you actually go with as the back 3 for the Fijians, and it's an even harder question to answer now because you've got those young guys like Vinaya Habosi who are coming up through the ranks. You've got those overseas guys like Nayatha Levu, who has been absolutely brilliant for a long period of time. Radradra in the midfield, Ravatamundo, who's had a very good season for the Fijian Drua. The coaches are going to have a lot to decide on before we get to the first game for the Fijians, but also in the inside centre roles, they have got Kalaviti Ravovo, another fantastic player for the Fijian Drua, and the player who misses out is Andrea Thathangi. So he is one who isn't going to be there for this initial 39-man squad. It has got the chance of potentially making his way in later on. Now I should mention, interestingly enough, I mentioned about that back 3. Of course, a lot of people see Tuisova as a great option out on that right wing side. The fact that for the 45-man squad, and the 39-man squad, he is listed as an inside centre. Makes me wonder whether or not he is going to be playing 12 for this upcoming World Cup. And if that is the case, that is certainly a dangerous crash ball option that the Fijians will have for themselves, because we know that he can make meters. We've seen him do it for every side that he's played for in the top 14. And international level, I don't think it will be any different. But the big question is, who are they going to have on his outside? The outside centres they have got at the moment, Waisia Naya-Thalevu, very handy option. Osifu Masi, one of the best players in the Fijian Drua side throughout 2023. He scored the most tries in an individual season for a Fijian Drua player also. So him and Tuisova in the midfield could be a very dangerous combo. And then also Seta Tamani Valu, the last man confirmed for the outside centre role for Fiji. Now looking at the wing/fullback section, they have got the youngster Vanaya Habosi. Now everyone knows what he was able to do for the Fijian Drua not too long ago. And I feel like he's in a very similar position as what some of these young Fijian Drua players are in now. Because last year, not too many people knew about Habosi until that Super Rugby season pretty much put him on the map. And now he's signed for Racing 92. A lot of people feel he's going to be that starting 11 option for the Fijians in the World Cup. So it just shows what doors one good season at the Fijian Drua can open up for your career. But alongside him at wing/fullback, they have got Jita Wainanyolo, Celestino Ravatamanda, the man that I mentioned just a little bit earlier on, who's been playing either fullback or wing for the Fijian Drua throughout 2023, and also the man who predominantly has played fullback for the Drua, that is Eliza Drua Sisi. Just 3 names left in this Fijian squad. They are the utility backs, and that is going to be Semi Radradra, Sareli Mangwala, and also Vilamoni Botitu, the last man in the side for the Fijians. And I have to say, a very impressive looking side, and hopefully they do well in the upcoming Pacific Nations Cup fixtures. So pretty much the schedule that the Fijian side have got for themselves is they have got a couple games first up against the likes of a Samoa and a Tonga. Then from there, a few other warm-up games, and then they're into the big one, the Rugby World Cup 2023, where they will be going head-to-head with Wales, Australia, Georgia, and Portugal. So I'm looking forward to that group, because I guess that's one of the more unpredictable ones that we have got for the 2023 Rugby World Cup. But I do thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. We're going to keep you updated with squad announcements. We are going to keep you informed when Fiji announce their sides for upcoming fixtures, and also all the live commentary for their upcoming games as well. But thank you all very much for tuning in. Do let me know who you think should have been added to the squad, the key players as well, for who you think will tear it up for the Flying Fijians in 2023. But thank you all very much for tuning in. I will see you all for the next one.